welcome back to another video of H&H Express model nscale trains. In this video we're gonna continue with the wiring of the train yard. So let's go over there and I'm gonna explain what I'm gonna do.
So as a continuation on the shadow station over here and the staging yard over there, I need to put power on these four lines. I connected the power via the transformer, what you have seen in the previous video, to this turnout via a switch. When the LED is red, then it's controlled by the transformer, and this section is already powered by the transformer itself. So when I have the train moving backwards here in this staging yard, there is no power from this section off, so from this section here. So let me make it a little bit bigger. So until here there is power on this section. There is no power on these four lines. This is a single turnout, and these two are in a combined turnout for 1 in, 3 out, or 3 in and 1 in out. So this section, by the way, was never built by me. I got that from a colleague on a train club, and I inherited it, and now I need to fix it so that power is restored on that section. Since all the electronics was removed underneath, I put servo drivers over here to control the turnouts itself, but of course I need to put power on the individual sections as well. So I would need to put a control board over there to control the power as well, so that I can switch on, switch off the power. I should be able to do that with some switches, some push-pull switches, but I would like to have an Arduino do that, so that I can just push a knob and then the LED will show me, okay, there is power on the track. At least the track is activated, that when the train comes here, this section of power continues on that lane or on that track. And if I switch this turnout, then power will be removed from this track. It will be on that track or these two tracks, depending on the status of these turnouts. So if it's set to thrown or if it's set to diverted. So I will draw this section on this whiteboard here, and I will explain how it goes. So instead of doing everything over here, as you can see, plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus. So red is the plus. I put here green, but that's fine. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna print it out. I'm gonna look at the switch directly. In this way, this section of the switch is set so that this track, this is track number 2, can be used. This is already the minus, as I injected here. Minus is minus, so that's fine. And this is the plus, which goes from here to here to here to here to plus here. But the problem would be this frog. The frog, because this is another section of the turnout, could also be minus. And the same with this frog. It depends on the setting on the turnout. This could be plus, and this should be minus. And the last section, that one is known, that is plus. So we need to be very careful in wiring this up. It all depends on the settings of this turnout, this double turnout. So this is for track number 2. I have another option where this turnout over here is set to the other side, so straight, like here. You can see it is straight. That means that this plus will be plus here. So, and the strange thing is, this should actually be minus over here. So you really need to be careful. So this is plus, minus, but this section here of the frog has now the plus wire. So I need to make an isolation point over here. So when I set the turnout for track number 3, which is this track, this is the minus, 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 minus. So this is minus, and this is minus. But in the other section we saw that this was plus over here. And this should be plus. And if I'm looking at the setting of this turnout, then it's indeed plus. So we really need to be careful with the wiring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna isolate these 3 or 4 sections of track. So this will be isolated, this will be isolated, this will be isolated, and that will be isolated. And then this is okay because that's this section of track, and that will be okay as well. It's that section of track. So on the layout itself, and I know because I'm looking at it, there are some are directly connected and not isolated. So that is something what I need to work on. So I'm gonna put a picture up right here where you can see that there are some red wires connected to the bottom section. Since I did not do the original wiring, I'm gonna remove those wires and I'm gonna put black, red, the same as I do with my, did with my other sections of the layout. This is black and this is red. So that is what I'm gonna do, and then we will see later if this turnout, if these turnouts electrically have enough power to transform the power from here to there, and if it's set the other way from here to there. So that is what I'm gonna check. If not, then I will need to put a relay here to flip the polarity from plus to minus. And that can be done with just a relay board, which I use for snap switches as well. So that is what I'm gonna do, and I will see you in a bit when it is finished. So in the last section I said I would come back when the wiring was done, but I ran into an issue. I showed you that the wiring on the 3-way switch was looped, and that I was going to repair that, and I was coming back when everything was working. However, I ran into a problem that I cannot remove that section of staging yard unless I do something. So I will lower you down a little bit and show you what I mean. So the issue was all the cables were directly connected to this staging yard, But if I want to remove that and work on the staging yard, I needed to cut all the cables. So I actually added a connector. I soldered everything. I made sure that everything goes that way to the servo motors, that the power is transformed over here, but that I can make it loose. I even added a separate section which I'm gonna screw underneath the staging yard for the 15 volt, the 5 volt, the ground, which is steady power, and then these two lines over here are the power from this transformer. So now I can work on it. So, but that will be a separate video. So that will be it for this video, and in the next video I'm really gonna go into the wiring and work on the wires over there, to remove the wires which are there and install new wires, so that all the wiring is this way I wired the rest of my layout. I'm gonna rewire the three-way switch with relays so that the frogs will alternate in positive and negative when the switch is correctly aligned. That we're gonna put power on this switch, which would be the easiest one because it's only a one-way switch, so straight and diverted. So that will be then in the next video. So until that, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of the videos, consider to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified. And then in the end, the train will travel, and I will put that in a next video so that we can all see how the wiring goes on the single switch, frogs, power, and of the double switch. So thank you and goodbye.